some incredibly concerning things about this person. If Donald Trump did not suffer, he would be a different person. He would be a much more loving person. But because of who his
Okay,
interior.
okay. So guys, I made a lot of mistakes. I've been thinking, thank God for Angel. Otherwise, I wouldn't. I'm making a lot of judgments, a lot of anger coming up. I've suffered at the hands of white people, but that doesn't mean that white people don't suffer. White privileged people suffered as well. Do you want to say something, Angel, on the video? Come on, Angel, please. You're so please.
Okay, I'll say something.
Okay,
So I was just telling Anshu to, whenever the emotions of anger come up, it's an opportunity to practice just sitting with them and observing them before reacting to them. Because if the moment we begin following the stories, whether or not they're true or untrue, the moment we begin, especially if we're in a state of anger, the moment we begin following and creating stories from that state of mind of anger, we're going to begin making decisions that are coming out from a place of anger. So even though the things that our mind may be telling us, they're true or not true, doesn't matter. They're still coming from a place of anger. So I invite you, whenever there is anger, resentment, or frustration in your mind, to please simply just take an opportunity to observe them, observe those emotions, and not react to them. Because the moment you react, you're adding wood to the fire, you're adding energy to the fire. So saying things like, this group of people, I suffer because of them, because they don't see the bigger picture, is very, very unfair to that group of people, because even though they may be privileged, they still have experienced suffering. Even though that suffering may have been different from your suffering, they still experience suffering. So you cannot invalidate their existence simply because it's different than yours, simply because you have an idea, you think you have an idea as to like how things should be, and they're not in alignment with that idea. You cannot.
absolutely. So yeah, definitely a lot of judgments were made as a result of my I'm judging what the group is doing, Sinagai is doing, and I'm comparing it to other places that I've been, like spiritual organizations that I've been part of, and the way they've done things, and that's not fair, right? Like even if you're privileged and white, I guess privileged white people suffer too. I can't deny that they suffer. And of course, like this is me making a crappy justification, but you go to India, it's not. I mean, it's a different kind of suffering, I guess. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm definitely grateful to Angel. You know, I he wise guy. But you want to say anything else, Angel? Please.
Yes, yes, of course. I want to say, may we all as a collective learn to acknowledge when feelings of resentment, when the poisons of anger, when the poisons of hate, when the poisons of confusion arise in our mind stream. May we all, as a species, as a collective, learn to recognize when these senses, when these emotions pop up in our mind, and may we all have enough mental strength not to give them our energy, but simply watch them as if they were a movie, watch them as if they were last night's dreams, watch them for the illusion that they are.
I love that. That's so true. Yeah, I've been falling to the dark side, guys. I've been falling to the dark side. Consumed by anger and everything I've suffered. And everything, all the suffering that I have seen as well in India and when I was in jail. It's just been I'm creating this story that I see and that I perceive as true, and on some level there might be truth to it, but even the true stories are often the most pernicious, right? Because because this happened to me, right? Like I've had to struggle against white people my whole life. I grew up in Mobile, Alabama, only brown kid. They all were racist. Well, not racist, but kids are cruel. Um, so I had to struggle and prove my equality. And when you are treated as an inferior, to prove your equality, you have to be superior. That's the trick. That's the crazy part, right? You gotta beat the white people. But I guess that's the wrong way of looking at this particular situation. So anything else on hell?
Yep. May we all
I
learn.
love it. You were hesitant before, now you're going, baby. I love it.
No,
Go.
no. What I was gonna say is, I may we all learn to forgive all of the people that have caused us to suffer, and may we acknowledge that they were in a state of mind that did not know what was going on themselves. They were in a state of mind that didn't know how to handle that their lack of vitality. They didn't know how to control their suffering, and unfortunately, because they didn't know how to handle their suffering, they made us suffer.
Mm.
So may we all learn to acknowledge this and realize this and forgive others for the suffering that they have caused us. May we all learn to appreciate the value of forgiveness if we haven't yet.
Yeah, and I just want to say, like, I'm really, I love on hell, of course, but I'm really not interested in being part of Senegai anymore because it has it's just not my style. I guess if people want to do the NVC non-violent thing, whatever. But have a good one, guys. Stay blessed. I don't, I'm being consumed by hatred, and it's wrong. Not wrong. There's another judgment on hell. It's not what's the word? I'm being consumed by hatred. What's the thing to that?
May I learn to
May I learn
self-compassion.
self-compassion and
Wow.
growth. Yeah, I'm just a human being trying to figure it out like everyone else. Have a good one,
Amen.
guys. That was good. You want to say anything else on hell?
Amen.
Amen.